What's up, YouTube, man? We back with another video, and today we're gonna be reacting to the story of YTB Fatt, man. They say he was in a house fire, and then he got into 20 shootouts. I don't know what happened, how this got to this point, but he winning. We finna find out. Y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms in the description below. We're gonna see what this time about.
The YTB Fatt story is one of the most insane stories that we have covered on this channel. From losing everything in a house fire to being involved in over 20 shootouts, YTB Fatt has overcome life's most challenging obstacles in a pursuit to create a better life for him and his family.
I've probably been in like 20-something shootouts or something.
A young man walked on the street with an Uzi and another one, a big pistol behind him.
After calling police, he heard dozens of gunshots.
An arrest has been made 2 months after a 16-year-old boy was shot and killed while playing video games in West Memphis.
In a local crime alert, West Memphis police arrested 3 men in connection to a deadly shooting. Officials say the shooting happened Saturday morning just after 10 on South 19th Street.
You know, you got real smoke in the city, like, we come out. Man, don't let the fuck that shit, bro.
YTB Fatt was exposed to life's toughest challenges since birth. Around June 2001, young track boy Fatt would need to undergo open heart surgery at only 6 weeks old. While Fatt would have a twin brother who is now known as Fox BD, his family would consider Fatt to be a miracle child, and they would be right about that. Fatt was mostly raised by his grandmother in West Memphis, Arkansas, near Foxwood Street in the Westwood Apartments, where everyone in the neighborhood referred to Fatt's grandmother as Auntie Bobby. Fatt wouldn't have a bedroom growing up, and he would be sleeping on the couch every single day. While his home was also only an hour drive from the penitentiary, Fatt would talk about how it seemed like in order to get out of the city for good, everyone had to stop by the pen at least once. Since a kid, YTB Fatt has always been a hustler and a gambler, while he would openly discuss hosting dice games in 4th grade. He was teaching his entire class how to gamble at only 10 years old, turning the classroom into a casino after learning from his cousin Bankroll Freddie. Freddie would be Fatt's role model as kids. However, that relationship will later take an extremely dark turn. When Fatt was about 15 years old, he would see the streets for what they really are. While hanging out with his close friends at his grandma's house eating cereal, Fatt's friend would leave to get more cereal. However, he would never make it back. After losing his friend, Fatt said life was hard at that time and he would find himself hitting the floor 3 times a day to grieve, but still had to make it down to the dice game in order to make a living. Then, a year later, Fatt and his cousin CB would be at his grandma's house when CB would ask Fatt for some money to go to the store. Fatt would not only give him the $10, but he would say he didn't want it back. Unfortunately, that day, CB wouldn't make it back from the store. If that wasn't bad enough, only a year after that incident, Fatt would...
You gotta stop sending folk to the store, G. I'd be traumatized to make a store run. Bro. Real rap.
Lose someone close to him yet again. And not to mention, this incident would also occur at his grandma's house. Mind you, where Fatt was living and sleeping on the couch. Fatt and his cousins would all be living under this roof together, and Fatt was trying to resolve some issues between the two of them, but it wasn't going as planned. As soon as Fatt turned his back, he would hear shots fired, only to see his cousin lying on the ground, and his family start to panic. When Fatt would run to help his fallen cousin, he would look up to realize that the shooter was his role model growing up, Frankie. While Fatt was in disbelief and covered in blood, he would try to make out his cousin's last words, as his cousin would fall lifeless in his arms. Now, since Fatt had been surrounded by violence, it's important that we point out that his escape would eventually be music.
And then that put him in a sticky situation too. And he young, bro. I know he was so lost, he probably ain't know what to do, who to shoot. Man.
It turns out that his brother Lil Cam would be the one to get him into music. After trying his hand at doing skits and even making up dances throughout his teen years, by the time he was 18, Fatt was starting to see some success with his music, dropping the Punch series, which included 3 parts. On Punch 345, Fatt would establish himself as a ladies' man with lyrics saying, "I'm taking every girl, you can call me Fat Usher."
Bitch, you can't plug a fat boy cause he the plugger. No. I'm taking every nigga bitch that I see, you can call me Fat Usher, yeah.
It is important to note that he was also going by the name Fat Boy at the time. Even though Fatt does like to flex at times, he would always remain humble. Even after starting a fan base at school, people would ask him how much a feature would be and he would only charge them $35. You can also see here what I believe is his first music video, titled Hoes Wicked, featuring his brother Lil Cam. Their buzz would make so much noise throughout the city that local channels like Mid-South Media would reach out to get an interview early in Fatt's career. In this interview, we could see a raw version of a young Fatt as he tells the audience that he's a known member of the GDs and that he has been in over 20 shootouts.
Man, I swear to God, I ain't even lying. Like, I've probably been in like 20-something shootouts or something.
Yeah.
Niggas just come through shooting their ass.
Not to mention, he would also walk us through the scene where his friend Zay was gunned down on the side of his grandmother's house.
Shot like, he got hit in the back of the leg. They was saying all types of shit.
Yeah.
Niggas really don't know real.
After this interview, Fatt knew that this was his calling to make it out of the hood. That year, in 2019, Fatt would keep his foot on the gas, dropping a new music video every month. Fatt would also drop some skits in these videos, reenacting himself being arrested by the feds while rapping lyrics like, "I'm with some GDs and you could get blue back." And in the video for Close, Fatt actually imagines himself being killed. It's clear that Fatt would have a hard time coping with all this death and violence surrounding him, and would battle with self-harming thoughts. Fatt was really becoming well known for his music at this point and would perform live at local shows, like this one here where he would be opening for Lil Boosie. Things would seem like they were going great, while Fatt and his crew would meet up with all their friends and have a successful performance, when suddenly Fatt would fall down and suffer from a seizure. Thankfully, he would be okay and would walk away from the situation, and shortly after we would soon see Fatt taking interviews again like this one on famous Animal TV, where Fatt talks about how Lil Cam got him into doing music, while Cam would unfortunately be locked up for a suspected murder at the time of this interview.
You doing this music shit, like what got you into this shit?
Lil Cam, really. I was the first nigga he got on the song with the shit. But shit, his ass on the murder right now and shit. This shit
Lil Cam.
facing a lot of time and shit.
This shit worldwide. Real. This shit worldwide, man. This shit real.
Really like that, really.
During this interview, we would also hear about the time when Fatt was shot.
Man, nigga, everybody nigga can't really been shot something or shot it or shot.
Hold on.
Next street over, like over there and shit.
Yeah.
Nigga hit me with my back with trying to shit though. This shit really, shit was hot in the motherfucker over. I ain't fuck all that other shit.
Damn, so like it actually be a lot of beef shit going down over here.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, during the interview, YTB looks as if they were gonna have a shootout mid-interview. Clearly, Fatt is accustomed to dealing with trauma on a daily basis. And if getting shot and losing his friends to the street wasn't bad enough, soon Fatt would receive devastating news. His house, with all of his belongings, would be burnt down in a house fire, causing Fatt and his family to not only be broke, but now homeless without any possessions. However, let's not forget who we're talking about here. This is YTB Fatt, the biggest hustler in West Memphis. And just as you would expect, Fatt would come up with a plan to make some fast money, considering he did have a pound of weed that was burned down in the house.
Salute you, brother.
After losing his re-up, he was advised by his friend, Clutch Frenchie, to take a stab at selling juice. No, I'm not talking about cough syrup either. I mean actual juice with his own branding. As crazy as it sounds, it would work. Well, Fatt would rake in $6K in sales in the first week of business at $5 a bottle. After making this major comeback, Fatt would hit the ground running, dropping 8 music videos back to back, amounting in over 10 million views, including this one video where he is seen wearing a MAGA hat, and there was also this song Twin Towers that he dropped on, well, 9/11. This streak would have Fatt getting recognized everywhere he went, and with the love would come a lot of hate as well. Now at this point, Fatt has dealt with all kinds of violence and death, but soon he would get word that his auntie was gunned down days after he was just with her. Fatt wouldn't take this loss well at all. In fact, he would immediately go get a gun and head out to seek revenge for his fallen family. Now call it divine intervention or what have you, but literally, while Fatt was on a drill, he would get a text message that would change everything. The one and only Moneybagg Yo would reach out to Fatt, letting him know that he was a fan and wanted to sign Fatt to Bread Gang. Of course,
that's
Fatt was
God right there, bro. That's a sign, bro. God give you signs in many ways, gang. He would have went and did that drill and completed that mission. He would have been sitting in jail for the rest of his life. We would have never seen Fatt no more. Oh, bro, that's a sign, God.
was extremely reluctant to believe that this was a real deal, since he had been lied to so many times growing up. But his doubt would soon be short-lived after Moneybagg Yo would deliver on his promises. And soon Fatt would be seen in Times Square pulling racks out of the bank. Shortly after, Moneybagg Yo would seal the deal with a company dinner and announce YTB Fatt as the newest artist on Bread Gang, the label. YTB Fatt's life would entirely change that day after receiving that text message. And everybody would see these rewards soon when Fatt would be seen on IG with a full bust-down grill and chain. If you think that Fatt would take his foot off the gas though, you would be terribly wrong. Fatt would go on to drop a few more singles, however most notably would be Shot Off Gumbo, featuring Fat Wizza and Moneybagg Yo, sitting at a solid 17 million views to date, and also Get Back, which sits at over 26 million views to date. It was fair to say that Fatt had officially made it to the big leagues. And to solidify that, Lil Durk would be seen on IG singing the lyrics to Get Back. Fatt would take all of this clout and go on a press run, doing interviews with DGB Media, On the Radar, and the one that really put him in front of a lot of eyes was his interview with $1 Million Worth of Game, while Fatt and Moneybagg Yo would be getting interviewed on a private jet. It is in this interview we get to see the reasons why Moneybagg wanted to take a chance on Fatt.
That nigga voice, that nigga just talking like that nigga, like you know, like some people like you hear, you be like, okay, they just another nigga. I ain't never heard this shit. As soon as I heard this shit, my big brother, you know what I'm saying, shout out Joe, he played that shit for him. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Where he at? I'm ready to go to West Memphis and everything. I go pick this nigga up.
You ready to go back down the way?
Yeah, I'm ready to go back down the way, but shit, he kind of flew on to Miami. Shit, the rest was history. Made it happen. That's the video. Then we did the video you saw, signed him, broke that bag out for him, gave him 4-5 chains, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he would also share that Fatt would always show Moneybagg the death threats he would receive and would have to fight the temptation to go back and spin the block.
You know, he got real smoke in the city, like, same shit. Like, he in the tour with the whole city, in the city like this big. You know what I'm saying? The city this big. He in the tour with the whole city, so he's sending me Facebook videos, a screenshot, niggas talking about, Fatt this ain't Fatt your nigga out, niggas dying, and da-da-da. Man, don't let the fuck that shit, bro. Like, I ain't on it.
Moneybagg would continue to fulfill his promise to Fatt by putting him on his new album, Hard to Love, on which Fatt would feature on a track along with Lil Durk, titled Rock Out, and would also put him on his larger-than-life nationwide tour. It is fair to say that Moneybagg Yo came in at the right time to make a positive change in YTB Fatt's life, while Fatt would never allow this to slow him down. In fact, he would keep dropping 10 more videos in 2023, amounting in over 50 million views, and would also drop 2 projects titled Who is Fatt and Foxes Only, to let the world know that he is here to stay. Fatt would also be seen in another hood vlog where we would see his friend Mar, who was just released from prison. We would also get a look inside and see the couch where Fatt would sleep daily. And his father would also fill us in on his miracle open heart surgery at only 6 weeks old.
Had an open heart surgery when he was 6 weeks old. And to see him now to come to who he is, it's a blessing.
Now, I wish I could say that Fatt's mainstream exposure was all good, because there was some major drawbacks as well. For example, friends were starting to switch up on Fatt, and on top of that, Fatt would also accuse Playboy Carti and Travis Scott for stealing his flow on their new song Theme. He would take to IG to post his grievances, saying that he received over 500 messages from fans making these claims. I don't believe that Carti or Travis would respond, however, this controversy would still benefit Fatt's growth. By 2024, Fatt was practically a household name with millions of views, a mainstream cosign, and a nationwide tour. YTB Fatt has officially made it to the big leagues, and somehow Fatt would always remain humble, and in fact would continue to stay sober throughout all of this mess, dropping another 15 music videos garnering over 60 million views, including the song titled Conspiracy V2 featuring Lil Durk, which this song alone has 20 million views. Not to mention, Fatt would drop 2 more projects this year titled On Zay and The Richest Fox, and if that wasn't enough exposure, Fatt would also head out on tour with the one and only Rod Wave. Now, wrapping up 2024 and 2025, Fatt is clearly undeniable, and Moneybagg Yo is directly responsible for skyrocketing Fatt to success. However, Fatt getting a tattoo of Moneybagg was still something that came to a major surprise to the fans. Though it does seem like a great gesture, as well considering Moneybagg would continue to show the same love, even coming out to surprise Fatt at one of his shows. YTB Fatt's story is nothing short of incredible. This man has had every reason to quit and let the streets get the best of him, but through persistence and hard work, Fatt would go on to create generational wealth for him and his entire family. However, we know that Fatt is still true to the street at the end of the day, after dropping his most recent collaboration titled Ghetto Fox, featuring Rio to Young OG, after Rio served 5 years for a gun charge. That recent drop already has over 21 million views. And he would also be headlining his own tour starting March 28th with Screwly G opening for him, further establishing Fatt as a force to be reckoned with. One thing is for certain is that YTB Fatt will continue to overcome obstacles and make his family proud. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
We gonna see y'all boys in the next video, man. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we out of here.